Hi there, my name is Nicholas Coombe and I play the role of Randy. Randy is a fun-loving, classic guy who's a bit of a nerd at high school, plays video games, doesn't have too many friends, but he kind of keeps to himself and he's happy with that. Watches a lot of great films, probably films that you've never seen before, but you should listen to the films he's seen in the movie because there's some good ones in there. He, very nice, has a good heart. He always wants to do the right thing, even if he's terrified. And he's secretly a hero, but you'll find that out. I have never worked in a jungle before. I've worked in a forest, which was like a Canadian forest, which is very different to the Australian jungle. But it was awesome, honestly. It's really easy to feel like you're actually on this adventure because you are stuck in the middle of a jungle, trying to walk over roots. You're running through the jungle at all times. It's like kind of hot, bit humid. So it's awesome. Totally grew up with Dora the Explorer. We didn't have it in my household because you had to pay for cable to get Nickelodeon channel. But whenever I went to my friends' houses, we would watch Dora the Explorer. I was a big fan of Boots. I love monkeys, so that was a good thing. But I mean, it was everywhere. Everyone my age and younger has heard of Dora the Explorer. So, I mean, yeah, it's influenced a lot of people, obviously helped a lot of kids learn new things as she does in the show. But I think it's a classic, as Randy would say. Randy was not in the original TV series. So he's a new character, which is very exciting because he's a really cool dude. Randy kind of keeps to himself, a bit of an introvert, likes video games, like your classic teenager these days, likes to hang out, does well at school. But I guess he gets thrown into this adventure that he was not expecting and probably wasn't well equipped for, but ends up finding himself through that and becoming almost a man through the process. You know, throw him in the jungle and see what happens. What appealed to me was the comedy. I would honestly laugh out loud at the scene in general, but like Randy's lines. He's a pretty funny guy. I think finding him in the jungle in these situations that an introverted gamer probably wouldn't normally be in unless it was via a computer world was quite hilarious to me. Yeah, he's a bit of a scaredy cat, but he's also trying not to be scared. And yeah, he's great. But the comedy for sure, love it. Through the journey, Randy and Dora start to find that they have more in common. They're both very intelligent when it comes to kind of like stars and space and just kind of general facts. So they keep kind of figuring out the puzzles together at the same time, but they end up becoming, yeah, really close along this journey through all these experiences, through her saving him and him saving her, and all the kids become best friends. Bella is a legend, Jeff's a hero, Maddie's like my sister now, it's great. So we all not only hang out on set, but we hang out on the weekends, do all sorts of fun things, go to the theme parks, which is great because they're all next door, so I like to do that. But yeah, everyone, even Eugenio, he's amazing, and the whole entire crew. It's really cool working in Australia actually because I'm from Perth originally, so it's nice to hang out with some Aussies again and make a movie on the Gold Coast. It's beautiful here. I think Bella's doing an amazing job at playing Dora. She's done a really good job at taking young Dora, the kind of cartoon version of her, and making her a teenager, but still keeping that fun kind of, I'm Dora, and like, la-di-da-di-da, without it being like lame. Like she's kind of made it cool, which is awesome, I think. But she's still giving facts to people and kind of like, she's still Dora. It's still there, but she's grown up. But I think Bella's doing an amazing job at it. It's pretty much been like a masterclass in acting for me, working with all these guys. Eugenio is incredible. He's a comedic genius. So for me, who loves comedy, working alongside him has been incredible. I grew up on the beach, so I've been swimming my whole entire life. So when I heard that we got to do a scene where we get to swim, I was over the moon, so excited about it. And it's everything I imagined and more. The aqueduct the aqueduct set was incredible. They built these giant water slides that we could like slip down. We were meant to work, but we were pretty much just flying down water slides all day, which was sick. The aqueduct, we learnt to hold our breath for like up to like 3 minutes underwater, just like casually chilling, which is crazy because when we first started, I was under for like 30 seconds and I was like, how long? So that was pretty cool. And then we were able to actually use that technique when we were shooting, because there was a part where Randy's meant to hold his breath for like 7 minutes, but I could actually go down for a decent amount of time and do what I needed to do to save the day.
I think audiences will be really excited about our reimagining of Dora the Explorer. We really dive into what it's like being a teenager and growing up and making friends and staying true to yourself. There's a lot of stunts and really cool scenes that we've had so much fun doing, and I hope that you guys will enjoy it as well. I play Sammy Moore, and she meets Dora, Diego and Randy at school, and she's one of the 5 that goes on the adventure in the jungle in search of Parapata. She's a student prefect and very serious, so it's nice to kind of see her unravel a little bit and then, you know, make friends for life with the other characters. Sammy takes herself quite seriously, and she's surrounded by people who aren't serious at all. And when you're in the jungle, she's quite beaten down and unravels a bit, and we kind of see her deteriorate a little bit, which is funny. But, you know, they go through these kind of life-changing experiences, which really bonds them together. The best part of shooting this film has definitely been the diverse locations and stages and sets we've shot in. So, you know, we've pretty much brought a jungle into a soundstage and temples. I think my favourite set was the aqueduct, where we sunk a whole temple into water. That was really exciting. And yeah, I think that was my highlight of the movie. Everyone knows of Dora. And she still holds such a cultural significance in our society today. I always remember, you know, the songs in Dora, and she was a really great role model for young girls, especially, you know, young women of colour. It was a strong female protagonist that you could kind of relate to and connect with. So she was always on before I went to school in the morning. I was maybe a little bit too old for it, but, you know, it's still, yeah, everyone knows of Dora. Sammy is a new character that we're bringing into the story. And when I read the script, what really grabbed me was the humour. You know, it's definitely a lot more sophisticated than what I first anticipated. And I think it's something that everyone will enjoy. There's a lot of universal themes that, you know, people can relate to. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great family movie for everyone to watch because it's just so funny, yeah. She's amazing. Like, she has incredible comedic timing, but also brings this kind of dramatic, emotional depth to Dora, which I think we really see in the movie. And, you know, she does so much for the Latina community in real life. So I think she's the perfect fit for Dora. She's done an amazing job, and it's so fun to watch her work and, you know, kind of her take on Dora. I love him. He's my kind of sidekick goofball on set. So yeah, it's been great working with him, and the amazing thing about this movie is that I really do think that we're all going to be, you know, friends for life. He's amazing. He's such a wonderful addition to the family as well, and it's amazing to work opposite him, you know, our characters having the romantic interest. He really takes his craft seriously, and he is very connected with his other actors in scenes, and, you know, kind of warming up or getting into a scene or a character with him is great. He's got this intensity about him, which I love. Working with James has been an incredible experience. He's definitely one of my favourite directors I've ever worked with. You really have a collaborative relationship with him, which I think is really important. So, and a lot of the work that he does as well is improvised. So he'll just write something on the spot and be like, okay, if you could just say this in the next take, that would be great. And, you know, you've got to kind of cram it in. But he's amazing. He comes fully prepared and knows what he wants. And I think, you know, you can really trust him and know that everything we're doing is great and funny, but also, you know, emotional and, yeah, very smart man. We shot in an aqueduct on a soundstage which dropped into a 3-metre tank full of water. That was awesome. That was really, really cool. And so to get into training for doing that, because we have to swim to the bottom of the aqueduct and open the sluice gate, which I think took 3 days to do, we would have to do some water training and learn how to, you know, breathe and fill our bodies with oxygen, which, you know, is kind of knowledge that you will take on in your real life. But yeah, and then, you know, we slide down a water slide. I have to pinch myself and remind myself that I'm at work because it's so much fun. So yeah, and it's just working with the people that we work with, it's just the best, you know. We did 2 days of water training. So the first day was just in like maybe 3-foot deep water. And that was just learning to hold your breath. So I think we held our breath for like 3 minutes quite easily. And it's all just learning how to meditate underwater and stay calm. And then the second training we did was in a 5-metre deep pool. And that was just being able to swim to the bottom, equalise, all that kind of stuff, just so we were over-prepared on the day. Eva and Eugenio have worked together before, and Eva and Michael have played husband and wife before. I learnt so much from them, but also they were such humbled, grounded people. And watching them, you could really see that they take chances creatively and with comedy, and that kind of inspires you to take those risks as well. They were such a great energy to have on set. They were hilarious, cracking jokes, you know. It felt like they were, you know, part of the kids' gang, really. Yeah, we've just been so blessed on this job to have worked with who we've worked with. It's been an honour. It doesn't matter where you're from or what your differences are, you know, people can come together and go on amazing experiences together. And I think Sammy really, really does learn that from, you know, Dora. Just be yourself and you know, believe in who you are, and you can only be yourself. You can't pretend to be someone else.